stuck with my crush." He was drenched in sweat, and the infection was visibly spreading all over him. 18 years ago in the United States, Elliot Jin shouted to Daniel Jin, "We need to go now. Did you not hear what Auntie said? She told us not to get close to this house. There is some crazy guy living here," Daniel Jin said. "I know. An apocalypse nutcase? People say a crazy guy lives here who believes the world is ending soon. I am just curious, about why he thinks that way." Elliot Jin replied, sweating, "You are going to get shot for real if you keep it up." Daniel Jin calmly responded, "I heard there has not been a shooting in this neighborhood for decades. He is probably not some lunatic who just shoots anyone." Elliot Jin said nervously, "I do not know. It was 18 years ago, Pennsylvania, United States. A gate stood with a warning, 'Do not enter.' Elliot Jin walked away. I am going home first. If Auntie gets mad, do not blame me." Daniel Jin silently looked at the gate. Suddenly, a man shouted, "Who is there? There will be zombies crawling all over the place soon, so why are you out there in danger?" Daniel Jin, startled, said, "Sorry." He looked confused. "Zombies? What is that?" the man asked. "Were you just talking with that kid in some foreign language?" Daniel Jin replied, "Korean." The man said, "Are you the son of the Asian couple who lives nearby?" Daniel Jin answered, "I am not their son. I just stay with my uncle's family. I have only been here for a year." The man asked, "Where are your parents then?" Daniel Jin paused. "They passed away. Both my mom and dad in Korea, so my twin sibling and I were sent here." The man said, "I see. Sorry to hear that. Anyway, it is dangerous out here. Get back inside. There will be zombies everywhere soon." Daniel Jin thought to himself, "He really does sound crazy." The man continued, "Are you looking for somewhere to hide?" Daniel Jin asked, confused. "Sorry, is this like some kind of role play?" He thought. Daniel Jin said, "I am being chased by those so-called zombies. I have been running away." The man exclaimed, "Goodness! So the zombies are finally showing themselves in this world? You were not bitten anywhere, right?" Daniel Jin replied, "Yes." The man opened the shutters. Daniel Jin looked inside, sweating. The man shouted, "Get inside, quick!" Daniel Jin entered. The man closed the gate behind him. A few moments later, inside the house, in the living room, Daniel Jin asked, "But you keep saying zombie over and over. What even is that?" The man said, Ho, you really do not know anything, huh? When people sin and die, do you know where they go? Straight to hell. But if over thousands of years too many people sin and die, and hell runs out of room, what do you think happens?" A writing on the wall read, "The end is near." The man continued, "God will bring judgment, a merciless, severe judgment. If hell becomes packed full of sinners, then the souls who cannot get in will wander the earth." Daniel Jin looked on in shock. The man shouted, "Divine retribution is coming. The end is near. If you do not get ready like I did, there's no way you'll survive. Let me show you something incredible." The man pulled open a cabinet, revealing rows of supplies and weapons. Daniel Jin looked around in shock. "Whoa. What the heck is that?" The man said calmly, "The end will come someday. It always does." He gestured toward a reinforced vehicle, a fully modified doomsday car. Back in the Sky Motel, room 202, 18 years later, Seoul, Korea. Han Yena said, "Hey, Kang Hak-cheol, you're really aiming that at him." Kang Hak-cheol replied, "You never know. What if he suddenly snaps and attacks us?" Han Yena turned to the older man. "What do you think, Professor? Are you sure he's infected?" Professor Seo Jae-hoon wiped sweat from his brow. "Yes. This doesn't look like a normal reaction to a stab wound. A fever of 42 degrees. That's impossible. If only we had a specialist, we could be sure," Young Minjin said weakly. "But I just can't figure out how. I got infected. I didn't get bitten earlier. And what doesn't make sense, the symptoms started right where I got cut by the knife." Han Yena said, "If he was infected back at the construction site days ago, he would have turned by now. The incubation period isn't that long, is it?" Professor Seo Jae-hoon said, "I think it depends on where he's bitten. Sometimes it's just a few minutes, up to a few hours. I'm not sure, but I doubt it'd ever be more than a day." Kang Hak-cheol added, "Judging by Minjin's condition, I'd say he's definitely infected. The symptoms starting from the stab wound means maybe there was infected blood or fluid on the knife, or maybe the open wound got exposed somehow. If that's the case, then he was already infected before I treated him. As for why the symptoms are showing up now, I have no idea." Han Yena stared in shock, her mind racing. Then, "Are you saying Minjin's been infected for days?" Kang Hak-cheol nodded slowly. "Yeah." Professor Seo Jae-hoon stammered, "So if Kang Hakyeol interrupted. If Minjun doesn't turn by tomorrow. He paused. Silence. Minjun. Maybe he's immune. Of course, I'm not exactly a medical expert, so I can't say for sure. Young Minjun's eyes widened. He's saying, I might be immune. A large bead of sweat rolled down his cheek. A few hours later, at night, outside the infected groaned, Rah, grah. As the sun rose, light streamed through the window and landed on Jung Minjun's face. Hanyena had sat by his side all night. Jung Minjun slowly opened his eyes. Hanyena leaned forward. You're awake? Your fever's way down and your face looks a lot better. How are you feeling? Jung Minjun sat up slowly. Wait, how long did I sleep? Hanyena replied, since yesterday. It felt like you slept for dozens of hours. Jung Minjun blinked. Yena, what are you doing here? Hanyena said, Huh? I'm checking on you, what else? Jung Minjun looked away. Aren't you scared, being next to me, when I might turn into an infected? Hanyena paused, then smirked. Hey, if a loser like you turned, you wouldn't be scary at all, okay? Haha. Plus, Hakyeol said you might be immune. Ha ha ha. She smiled awkwardly. Hanyena added, It's already been a long time. Jung Minjun stared at her, a bit awestruck. You've changed a lot, you know? I mean, you even looked after a loser like me. You looked pretty badass throwing Molotovs at the professor's house too. Hanyena's face turned red. What? Hey, do you think I'm some delicate flower or something? Even if you weren't there, I would have survived somehow. And about taking care of you, I just wanted to check on your... She stopped, noticing Jung Minjun smiling at her. Jung Minjun said, Thanks, at least to me. You're like a totally different person compared to a few days ago. I never thought I'd end up relying on you. Anyway, thanks. Hanyena looked down and blushed as she said, I'm the one who should be thankful. I mean, we gotta do whatever it takes to survive. But are you sure you're okay? Jung Minjun said, yeah, way better than yesterday. Yesterday, I was honestly hovering between life and death. But a few hours later, Kang Hakyeol came inside and sat down, saying to Jung Minjun, So, you're saying that Lee Bongyu looked almost exactly like the zombies in that game you played? Jung Minjun said, Yeah, I'm sure of it. This whole situation, it's gotta be connected to that game. Kang Hakyeol said, Then, you're saying the game company created the virus and released it? Jung Minjun said, Well, I have no idea about that. The developer is actually pretty famous, you know. What was his name again? Seo Hajun suddenly came inside the room and said, CEO of Red Mine Studios, Daniel Jin. As Jung Minjun looked at Seo Hajun, confused, Seo Hajun said, That guy. He's someone I really respect as a developer. Seo Hajun, 12 years old, 6th grader at Unsuk Elementary, sweats. Jung Minjun said, Right. Hajun, you want to be a game developer, don't you? Kang Hakyeol said, Daniel Jin? Yena, have you heard of him? Hanyena said, I think I've heard the name before. Seo Hajun said, He's a Korean-American genius developer. Back in high school, he made a huge hit indie game called Hollow Code in North America. He grew Red Mine Studios and released a bunch of other successful games. Especially 5 years ago, his game Rage Z became a mega hit and made him a ton of money. Red Mine Studios? Seo Hajun continued. After that, he started investing big in artificial intelligence, medical and biotech industries, even buying out related companies. In North America, he's basically become as big a deal in it as Elon Musk. But he's only recently gotten famous in Korea. Kang Hakyeol said, Medical, biotech, huh? Seo Hajun said, And I heard he has a twin brother, something Jin? He's supposed to be pretty famous too. You could probably find out if you looked it up online, but there's no internet right now. Kang Hakyeol thought and said, Zombie business. Games, medical, it all matches up a little too perfectly. Hanyena said, If his company really is involved in all this, why? What's the point? Seo Hajun said, That. I honestly have no idea. Jung Minjun sweats. Then a different scene, in an interrogation room. A CIA agent said, Daniel Jin, 29 years old. Before moving to America, you were from a pretty well-off family in Korea, but together with your twin brother Elliot Jin, you testified to being bullied as a kid. Your mother was a famous actress in Korea until the late 2000s. She got caught up in a tax evasion scandal, and public backlash eventually forced her to retire from entertainment. After getting hit with massive penalties and damages, in the end, she could not take it and ended her own life. Later, It was revealed that it was all due to the tax accountant's intentional omissions and mistakes, and a mistake by the tax office. But around that time, your father lost everything too, after a string of real estate and construction scams, and the business failed. The family racked up billions in debt, and your father also took his own life. So together with your twin, you went to America to live with your uncle, your only remaining family. At 17, you made your first big profits with a game you developed. But even the uncle and aunt you guys trusted ended up embezzling your money, betraying their only family left. After that, you started and built up Red Mind Studios, and started investing heavily in medical and biotech fields, becoming a major player in the future of medicine. Let's just get to the point. Daniel Jin said, "We don't have time to sit around like this. We need to go to Korea immediately." The agent said, "If you really suffered that much from your own countrymen, you probably would have wanted to kill them all. But still, did you really need to go this far? Daniel Jin, you're the one who spread the virus in Korea, right?" Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.